Hello, everybody, and welcome to the AMPM podcast. My name is Manny and I will be your host, and this is the show where we discuss all things Amazon private label and how to generate recurring revenue streams 24 hours per day during the AM and the PM, hence the name of the show. Get it? AMPM podcast. As a matter of fact, I was out relaxing. I was watching the night stars, and I thought I saw a weird light way in the distance, and it was moving super fast and then would stop, and then it moved at a sharp angle at an incredible speed in the other direction. Certainly not something I've ever seen. I don't want to guess what that was, but while I was checking out that strange, unidentified flying object, I was making money. How cool is that? Pretty cool, I think. Hello, everybody. I am here with Vitina. She has been in the olive oil business since 1935, or at least her family has. She hasn't herself. But you guys have been growing, harvesting, pressing, doing everything related to extra virgin olive oil in Sicily. Is that right? In Italy?
That's correct. That's where we are from.
Well, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming.
I'm super happy.
So I wanted to get you on the show because we talked at Boost, I think it was, right? It was at the Boost conference in New York.
You're correct. That's where we met.
That's right. And then you had an interesting conversation with me because it started off with olive oil. You were talking about it. You're very passionate about it. And you said that I had never had real olive oil. And I was like, well, you don't even know me. How do you know? And you basically said all olive oil out there is pretty much fake, or at least it's a big portion of it is fake. Is that right?
It is, about 95%.
So tell us a little bit about that. Sum that up like in a minute or so, because that's a really cool story.
Okay. Well, the demand for extra virgin olive oil has grown significantly, and there is no way, there is not enough orchards in the world to make enough extra virgin olive oil for the demand that is out there. So really 95% of it is really fake. And it's, the reason we entered into the business and we decided to reach out our customers direct is because people don't know it. And what is happening is affecting us because we cannot sell our olives for a fair price. Because, the big corporations don't want to pay for olive to make their extra virgin olive oil. And you get an idea from there.
Okay. All right. So how is that? Is that legal in the U.S. to say, 100% extra virgin olive oil, and if it's 95% of them don't have that?
Well, that's a very good question. But you see, the problem is definition. Okay. The FDA refuses to define what extra virgin olive oil is, and without definition, everything is fair game. Okay,
so when you compare your olive oil to an olive oil that's on the market, how is that different exactly?
The first thing you're going to notice is the taste, is day and night. Okay? And it's going to be, Papa beans is going to be very light, very fresh. It's going to be kind of grassy, and it's going to have hints of, green apples, lemons, artichokes. It's all out there. And then, as it goes down your throat, it's going to hit you with a beautiful peppery kick. And those are the antioxidants. And that's really how you know that you're really having the real extra virgin olive oil.
Okay, interesting. Now let's talk about this business a little, because this is what you sell on Amazon. Where are you with your monthly sales with olive oil on Amazon right now per month?
We are selling about $25,000 to $30,000 a month.
Okay, all right, that's good. And how long have you been doing this on Amazon?
I've been doing it almost 2 years. It's going to be 2 years right now in September.
Okay. Were you selling this prior to Amazon as well?
I was, because I didn't know. I knew about Amazon, but I really didn't know about Amazon. And when we started, I'm going to be honest with you, I had never sold anything in my life, and I had no clue how I was going to help my family save this precious extra virgin olive oil. So I just jumped into the wagon. And what I did, I just started going to supermarkets, and I would demo the extra virgin olive oil to my customers direct. And I learned a lot. I'm just going to be honest. It was one of the best experience because I learned their vocabulary. I learned what they didn't understand. So when I jumped into the e-commerce, I already knew everything I needed to write. I knew my customers. So that was a big help.
Cool. And you mentioned the name of your brand. A lot of people don't want to talk about their brands on a podcast. You said it was Papa Vince?
It is Papa Vince, yes.
Papa Vince. And who is Papa Vince?
Well, Papa Vince is actually Grandpa, and he's the founder of the company. You know, he's the one that really, you could say, taught us how to make extra virgin olive oil, using all world standards, just the way that it needs to be made.
So you're saying everybody who's listening to this here in the U.S. probably hasn't tasted awesome, pure olive oil, right? For the most part.
Yes.
Okay.
For the most part.
So Vitina actually sent me a bottle. I have it. I'm going to try it out today. I want all those apples and peppery notes afterwards. If you guys want to actually check this out, you had mentioned in our Facebook group, just message her. I'm going to tag her, so you can just message in there, and she'll give you, a discount of some kind to actually try it if you guys want it. I think it's pretty neat.
Yes.
Yeah? Is that cool?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just want to make sure you're still doing
cool.
that. You're like, Manny, don't give it away.
Yes, I am.
All right. So your product, you're at 25 to 30,000 per month. What would be your margins with a product like that?
Your margins are about, I would say, 10 to 15%.
Okay. So it's not super high, but is it pretty consistent? Is it always right around there no matter what?
Yes, it's pretty much about there.
Do you get refunds on olive oil?
Do you mean like returns that people want to return it? Mm-hmm. Very, very seldom.
Okay. All right. And okay, so your product has a lot of reviews. Like what?
We have 674 review? No, or 44 reviews. 644 review as we speak.
Yeah. So let me ask you, how did you get over 600? And they're all really good reviews. Almost every single one of them. How'd you get 600 raving reviews? What's your strategy there?
Well, my first strategy is quality. I mean, when people taste Papa Vince, they're just taken back to Sicily, to Italy. Some of them are taken back to their childhood. It's just an awesome product, and that's really what we wanted. And as you know, most people that have a wonderful experience won't take the time to write a review unless you prompt them. So I use emails a lot for that purpose. So as soon as they buy, I have a system that nurtures them, and I tell them exactly how to taste that extra virgin olive oil, what to expect from Papa Vince when they taste it. And then I ask them, what do you think? And I'm very honest. And then they answer right back, and they tell me, well, my gosh, I think it's wonderful. And then they tell me everything. And once they write me a review in their emails, that's what I really do. Then I say, will you mind writing the same thing on this link? And most of them do it.
Okay. Well, what percentage of people would you say respond back that order with a review like that?
Well, as you know, not everybody gets Amazon emails because, Amazon now has this thing. But yeah. I would say out of the people that get the email from Amazon, I would say about 80% of the people, they go ahead and answer me, and they write a review.
Wow.
I get about 3 to 4 reviews per week.
Okay, that's pretty awesome. So now you're using some kind of email follow-up service out there with your text, whatever it is that you're sending them, right?
Yes, I do. And I can share it if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
Is that okay?
Yeah. What service do you use?
I use MerchBee.
MerchBee.
And I really love them.
Okay, MerchBee, MERCHBEE. I've heard people that use MerchBee, and they've also said good things. So you use MerchBee. Now, are you asking the questions in that email? Are you attaching a PDF or a video or anything like that? Or is it just text?
No, just text, to be honest. And I just ask the question in that email. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So they respond back. They say, I love it. It's fantastic. And then you say, hey, would you mind posting that in a review? Here's the link if you do that, right? Or what's the wording that you use?
That's exactly what I do.
Okay. All right, got it. So those that are listening and want a quick way of doing it, you're making sure everybody's super happy. You're responding with them or communicating with them. After you've sent this email saying, would you mind posting a review? Is there any additional follow-up to that, or are you finished at that point?
If they keep buying, with MerchBee, the nice thing about MerchBee is that when they do their second purchase, you can send them a different email. And I do take advantage of that.
Okay. All right.
And then on that second email, I kind of promote my other little products.
Okay. Well, how many SKUs do you have total?
I only have about 7 SKUs, to be honest.
7 SKUs, and they're all in the olive oil business?
They're all in the Sicilian food business, I should say.
Okay, but they can all feed off each other, I imagine, right?
They do.
Okay, perfect. Are they all under the same brand?
Yes, Papa Ben's.
Okay, cool. So how do you go, okay, let's talk about adding additional products. You have, what you say, you have 6 products, was it 6 products you said?
I have seven SKUs.
Okay, with the olive oil 7. Are you planning to expand that, or are you pretty solid with where you're at right now?
We are expanding little by little.
Little by little, okay. Are you, how did you add the other, well, let me back up. How many products did you actually launch with? How many?
I only launched with the extra virgin olive oil because that really is our strongest product.
So is one bottle size, just one unit, that's it, no variations?
At first we only started with a large bottle, and then we added what we call a sample bottle. And the sample bottle has been really, really important because I don't give away my extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to be honest with you. It costs because it's 100% olive juice. I tell people, so I can't really give it away. So a lot of my customers, what they do is they buy first the sample one. And I also find out that Amazon, the PPC works better with a cheaper bottle than with a bigger bottle. They feature it more often for some reason. And they also put me in the first page easier when you have a cheaper product. And so I use that as my hook. And then from there, when people buy the small bottle, then they start buying the large bottle after that.
Okay. What's the price of the large bottle versus the sample bottle?
The large bottle is $37.97. And the small bottle is $11.97.
Okay. So do you give away some of these smaller bottles then for giveaways or anything like that?
I don't do giveaways. Okay. I'm just going to be honest with you. They don't work for me for some reason.
Okay. So that's cool. So is the smaller bottle a variation of the larger one, or is it its own SKU?
It is.
It is. Okay.
It is.
Cool. So a lot of people are buying that. You're getting a lot of reviews. It's counting towards both of the products. And then how do you add these additional, the additional 5 products with very little cost and advertising? Anything that you're doing to add those in, since they are under the same brand?
Yeah, well, when you have a good brand and people love your food, and in our case, my extra virgin olive oil, it's really easy to send an extra email, and I put it on the email sequence and tell them, hey, check my other products. And then I have a page that I built with the Amazon Marketing Service. And then I give them that click. And when they click on that page, they can see all my products all at once. And then from there, they go ahead and they add the tomato sauce, or they add the balsamic vinegar, or they add the pastas.
Okay. And so are you advertising with headline ads or just sponsored ads, or what kind of advertising do you do?
Right now, I'm doing a sponsor ads and headline ads. Okay. I'm doing both.
Do you know off the top of your head roughly where your average ACOS is? Your average cost of
yes, it's about, for the sponsored products, it's about 30%. And for the AMS, it's about, I would say 15%.
Okay. Is 30% kind of like on that? That's above, you're spending more to actually make those sales than you're making at that point, right? You said you make 15 to 20% margins in the end, or is that including that 30% ACOS?
Well, that 30% is so, because, then I compare with my total sales, and I basically spend about 5 to 10% on marketing.
Okay.
When I look at the overall strategy.
A lot of people, a lot of people don't get that, right? Because they're like, well, why are you doing that if you're not making any money on this? But because those sales might lift you organically on the ranking,
correct,
right? Or I shouldn't say organic. They lift you in the keyword search ranking. Then you get those organic sales, which cost you nothing, right?
Correct. And that's why when I look at that, I really compare my final sales of the day with how much I spent on marketing that day. And it's about 5 to 10%. And I think that's a great number.
Yeah, awesome. Okay. You have what I used to teach in the very beginning of the podcast when I started. If we go back to the beginning, people say, what products should I stay away from? And I said, stay away from liquids, stay away from glass, right? Those were because things are going to leak, things are going to break. And so you got both of those. How have you overcome that nightmarish scenario?
Okay. Well, to be honest, we pack extremely carefully. Mm-hmm. Okay. We put our bottles in a wine air bag.
I saw it. Yeah. It was impressive. It was super impressive. Go ahead, describe it because it's really cool. So it's in a wine airbag. Like this is no lie. We had it here and I said, oh my God, I don't think this thing could ever break. And I held it and everybody's like, don't drop it because we have hardwood floors in here. And I go, no, I think this is going to survive. And I dropped it from about 4 feet up and it goes, boing. Just nothing happens to
it. That's why we put it there. And then it's inside another box.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be honest, our breakage rate is very, very low.
Doesn't Amazon, I'm kind of a newbie, I guess, when it comes to liquids since I don't sell that kind of stuff. But do they have rules in terms of how many ounces you can sell within stuff, I guess?
Yes, they do.
Yeah?
And the rule is 3 fluid ounces. And as you can see, I am breaking the rules, okay? Uh-huh. Because mine is bigger. It's 16.9 ounces. And this was a huge problem for us last year. And you heard about it because I asked for your help. Amazon all of a sudden decided that they didn't want to, they wouldn't let us warehouse anymore our bottle last year. And they decided that in September of last year, just before the Christmas season started. And there was no good reason for that, just simply because it was above 3 fluid ounces. And I talked to everybody on Amazon, and there was no way around this rule. And I knew there had to be a way. So I'm just going to be honest with you. I contacted Diego Piacentini, which most people probably don't even know who he is, but he was, and he kind of still is, the right hand of Jeff Bezos, and he is the one that is really making possible Amazon Europe. And I just sent him a message, and I told him, I am Italian, and I'm trying to sell the real extra virgin olive oil. And I told him, and you know that it's a sin to put real extra virgin olive oil on a can.
Sin.
And he knew. I knew I was telling him the truth. Yeah. I mean, only fake extra virgin olive oil comes on a tin can. So he put us in contact with the right person, and it took about another 3-4 months before finally they granted us the status to sell again our extra virgin olive oil.
Congratulations. Bravo. What a way to actually get through to the right person to make a decision happen for you, huh? That's
right.
That's awesome. I remember we were talking about that and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not even sure, where to start with this, but yeah, you figured it out. So that's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah. And Diego Piacentini, he answered back to me and he said, you better sell the real one.
Yeah, this time. Now you better sell it. Actually, we switched to cans, sir. Sorry. All right. So we know that you've had these amazing inroads, right? You managed to go from not being able to sell essentially to contacting the right person, getting your products back on Amazon. What would be one of the biggest mistakes that you actually have ever made on Amazon? And I know I'm throwing you under the bus here.
I'm just going to be honest. The biggest mistake we made is not enrolling in the frustration free, because we didn't think we had to. If we had enrolled on that free frustration program, we would have never gone through that roller coaster with a glass bottle. we lost probably about $70,000 that Christmas.
Oh, wow. Let's explain to people who might not have ever heard of frustration-free packaging what that is.
Well, frustration-free packaging is a program that Amazon had, and what I didn't realize is that it was a pilot program, and basically there were. I really don't know all the ins and outs, but because we had a glass bottle, they wanted to test it. And if we got the certification through them, we could send it because we had the certification. But we never did it because we never thought it was important. But, one message that I can tell everybody that follows you is when Amazon has a pilot program, take advantage of it because once they close it forever.
Yeah.
And there was no return back for us. And that was the problem. They were not planning to open the free frustration or the frustration-free packaging program. And so there was no way literally for us to get our bottle back into their system unless somebody gave us a little push.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. So I'm going to go back a little bit to what you said earlier, which is about the email reviews. I just thought about it. I'm trying to think of what our listeners or our viewers are going to say when they're watching this or the questions they might have. And I meant to ask you this and we moved on. But if in the emails that you're sending out to people, you said that you cross-promote some of your other products and put the links in there. Are you putting those links directly in the email that's being sent out by Amazon?
I am. To be honest,
no issues at all ever, huh?
I never had an issue. It's pointing right to Amazon, so I never had an issue.
Okay. All right. Some people would ask about that. I kind of think the same thing sometimes, and I do this actually. If I have a product that complements another product very well, like you can use this product with this product. For example, if you have a cheese grater and you were selling cheese, that's a bad example, but they both go together. Hey, you got the cheese grater. Why not buy the cheese as an example?
Correct.
If it's under the same brand, same company, you're not sending them away from Amazon. So, but I believe Amazon's terms of service say you're not supposed to link to anything. So I just want to make it clear, guys, you can do it. Vitina's doing it. It's kind of like speeding on the freeway, right? Everybody does it. You're not supposed to do it, but everybody does it. You're not supposed to use specific tools. People do it. But yet.
Well, I learned with Amazon, in many ways, they really want you to sell. And I learned that when I had the problem with the glass bottle, they really were trying to do their best to help me because their interest is for me to sell. Mm-hmm. And sometimes they write the rules because there is people who take advantage of it in ways that sometimes we don't necessarily imagine, but they tend to be flexible too.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to do something with you I don't think I've done with anybody else. We're going to do a rapid fire session. Okay.
Oh, what is that?
You're just going to answer as quickly as you can. You don't have to go into a long explanation. Just give it to me. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So what countries do you sell in right now outside of the US on Amazon?
We are trying to sell in England and Germany.
Okay. Are you selling only on Amazon right now?
Amazon and my website.
Okay. How many hours do you work per day on this business?
About 8 hours.
Okay, that's not so bad. All right, good deal. Do you work in this business alone? I know the answer to this one.
My husband.
That's right. I met you both. Okay. Just the two of you handle everything, right?
Yes, pretty much.
Okay. How much money did you start this business with?
I'm going to say $16,000.
$16,000. Where did this money come from?
Actually, it came from the inventory my family gave me.
Okay. Awesome.
So technically, I didn't invest in anything. They just sent it from Italy, and it was sitting right on my garage.
Okay. So you've grown this. Have you taken any Amazon loans or outside funding to grow the business beyond initial?
I have. I have to.
You have to? Okay. Anything from Amazon? You took any Amazon loans yet?
Yes, I got some loans from Amazon, yes.
Okay, cool. You're doing great. You're answering these things. You're just flying through them. Okay. Let me see. I don't have any other questions. That's all I got. That was pretty good. What does anything come to mind, like your biggest win? What was like one of the happiest days selling on Amazon? What was it? What did you do? Other than seeing it actually live the very first day on Amazon, like, oh my God, it's live. I got the first sale. Those are always big things, right?
Well, I'm just going to be, okay, well, the happiest day to me was January. It was like January 2nd. I sold about probably 200 bottles in one day.
Wow.
And I was trying to figure out how that happened.
Uh-huh.
And I think CNN or 60 Minutes, that's what it was. They were running a feature about fake extra virgin olive oil, and I literally ran out of inventory that day. So that probably was the happiest day of my life.
Nice. All right. 200 bottles in a day. Probably in a couple of hours, right? From the time it...
That's right. I mean, that thing kept moving so fast. I just kept looking at it and going, what's going on?
That's funny. What would be... and if you don't know, if you don't have one, that's fine. But what would be one ninja tactic that you implemented that you were just super thrilled with? Is there anything that you tell people to do that are starting out that's pretty ninja?
Well, if you allow me to say it, I do send postcards. I do send postcards to my clients through the mail, and it works really, really well because a lot of the Amazon clients don't read their emails or they're blocking emails. And I found out that little postcard is extremely effective.
Awesome. So I just want to touch on that a little bit. What does the postcard say?
I usually just give them a 10% discount, and I say, well, just go to Amazon and type extra virgin olive oil, and when you see my bottle pop up, just get it.
Okay. All right. So you're actually ranking, you're trying to get your keyword to rank as well. Has that worked pretty well?
Correct. It works really well.
Without giving away all your secrets. Yeah, at least you gave a good one here. So that's a good ninja strategy. I love it. I've heard that before where people send out postcards. People don't think about it, right? We're in the like digital age. But people don't, they don't check their emails, but you'll look at your mail.
They look. There is plenty of people that like to receive a postcard and read it. So
do you thank them in that? Is it like, thank you for ordering, and here's a...
I do.
Okay. So
I do.
It's like a personal...
I am very personal by nature, and that's how I treat my customers.
Okay, awesome. Final question here. If you could go back in time and talk to yourself about starting this business, what advice would you give yourself?
I would have entered Amazon much earlier.
Yeah, all of us wish that, right? Back in 2008 or earlier. Yeah, whenever we could have. Okay, all right, cool. Anything you want to add that I didn't ask you that you think would be awesome to mention?
No, I think I pretty much said everything I wanted to say.
Yeah, we did rapid fire. You answered like 6 questions in a row. So perfect. I love chatting with you. Your energy is amazing. I love that we ran into each other in Boost. And
me too. Yeah, that was exciting. I was looking for this man, and then you are the tallest in the whole room.
I tell you what, I am gonna try that olive oil, and I want to come back. I know you won't be on the show, but I'll mention it and tell everybody how it is. I think it's really cool that you sent that out. So
I'm excited.
I can't wait.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on the show. I appreciate it, and we'll definitely have you on maybe a year from now. Let's see where you're at.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, why not? I would love it.
Perfect. We'll talk soon.
You've been listening to the AMPM podcast hosted by Manny Coates. For more information, insider tools, and to get the resources mentioned in this episode, visit ampmpodcast.com.